Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly. I am so excited about this collection. Are you guys ready for a new tutorial? So today I'm here with a new tutorial for JS Hobbies and Crafts. I am going to be using this adorable collection by Bob and Betty. This one is called Cottage Blush, and I did do a video showing you all the supplies that we are going to be using. So I am going to leave that on the description box down below, and let's get right to it. So a few videos ago, I shared with you the planning of this waterfall and windows mini album. It was all about pictures. I want to maximize the amount of pictures we are going to use. So I did a design for that, and I want to incorporate the element of surprise by using different windows on the design. So this is what we are going to be working on. So I will leave this video link in the description box if you missed it and you want to see me sketching out. It's very simple, just me putting my ideas together. But see, now I am so ready to make it. Now this album is going to measure 9 by 6 3/4, and we are going to have a 3-inch spine. So I am going to start by cutting my chipboard pieces. So I am cutting my chipboard at 9 by 6 3/4. You will need 2 pieces of that and one of 9 by 3 inches. So I am now going to grab 3 pieces of cardstock, and I am going to join them together using my double-sided tape. Then I'm going to add double-sided tape onto my chipboard pieces. So then I'm going to peel off the tape, and I'm simply going to add this chipboard into my cardstock base. So I'm going to start with the spine. I am going to center it on the centerpiece of the cardstock, and I am just going to place this down like that, and then I am going to take off the tape on this second one. And I'm going to place it on the side. Now you want to leave a little bit of a gap in between these two. Now the gap is about 2 thickness of your chipboard, or about 1/8 of an inch. So I typically just eyeball it, but that's about how much you want. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. Then I'm going to trim around the 2 sides.
And you just want to leave about 1 inch.
And then you want to cut your corners like this. Make sure you stay far away from your chipboard, just about 1/8 of an inch away. And then I'm going to do the same on all the corners. And then you want to fold the sides of your cardstock and just press down like that. Now I am using only 65-pound cardstock on the outside. 110-pound cardstock will crack when you do this part, so make sure you use your regular weight cardstock for your binding. Then I'm going to use my double-sided tape and add it on all 4 sides. Then we're going to start with the long sides. I'm going to do the bottom, and then I'm going to flip this over and do the top, just like that. And before we do the sides, make sure I press this down really good. We're going to fold this and then make sure you tuck your corners in so they're not sticking out and being pointy. You could do this with your nails, with your fingers. And then I'm just gonna take off the tape and put the sides down as well. Then I'm going to mark where I am bending here. I'm going to give it a little help. And I'm just gonna press down in the gaps so it's easy to fold, just like that. So now we have the outside cover of our album. So then for the hinge, we're going to use a piece of 8.5 by 11 regular weight cardstock. I am going to start at 1.5, and then we're going to score 3/4 of an inch all the way until 9 inches. So you will score at 1.5, 2.25, 3, 3 3/4, 4.5, 5 1/4, 6, 6 3/4, 7.5, 8 1/4, and 9. Okay, and then we are going to skip the first one. The first one will go attached to the binding. The next one we are going to skip is our first gussets, and then we are going to grab the next two. So it will be basically your third and fourth, and we're gonna put this together. We're gonna skip the next one and grab the next two, skip the next one and grab the next two. So we will have 3 hinges for this album like this. So now I'm just going to put that aside. Make sure you press this down really good. Then we're gonna turn this around, open it up again, and we are going to add our double-sided tape on one of the sides of the hinges. So we'll do 1, then you skip ahead 2, and then you do the next one, and then you skip 2 and do the next one. Then we're just gonna take off the tape, join them together, take off the tape and join them together, and do the same one more time and join them together. And now we're gonna turn this around. Make sure your hinges are perpendicular. I always like to bend them to both sides, so then it's easy to flip the pages of your album. Now the next thing we're gonna do is add double-sided tape again to each one of the hinges. Now you want to add your tape towards the outside of the hinge on both sides. Then we're gonna turn that over and do that side as well. And as you can see, I am close to the outside edge, and then I'm gonna do the same for the next two. So now we're gonna add our hinge to our base, and you're basically going to use these 2 score lines that you have on each one of the sides. I don't know if you can see them. There's one right here and there's one right there, and we're gonna line these up with the spine. And sometimes both won't match exactly. Mine do right now, but sometimes they don't. So I will highly suggest you just pick the first one and align that to this bending point, and then the second one you can always rescore that again here. So I am just going to add tape to the back and add this down to my base. So you make sure you press the tape down really good, and then we can go ahead and take off the tape. Okay, so now I am ready to place this down, and again I'm going to align the top and the bottom to the bending point of my spine. You will see the little indent in there. It's probably not showing in camera. And then I'm just going to gently press down in between each one of my hinges, and then just let it go. And then I always like to rescore, even though it is a score line in there. I like to make sure this is perfectly aligned to the top, to the bending point. And then I'll do the same here on the back. So this is when, if your back doesn't exactly line up, then you can always rescore so you can bend it on the exact place that you need to. So I decided to skip ahead of the pages and work on the cover because I am dying to decorate using this beautiful collection. And so I am going to select a page that I'm going to use for the cover. And I mean, they're all absolutely gorgeous, but let's see. And you get 2 of each design. Oh, this one is beautiful. I'll probably use this one for the back, so I am going to keep it here. Let me place it on the side here. And then for the front, I think I like this one because you can see some of the flowers on the bottom, but the front, it's, you know, settled enough so we can embellish a little bit more. So I am going to use these 2 pieces. Now I am going to cut this to size, which is going to be 6.5 by 8 3/4. And we are going to need, of course, 2 of that. So before I add this into my back cover, I decided to use this tab punch board, and now this one you can also find at JS Hobbies and Crafts. It was part of my design team, but I want to show you something that I discovered. So basically, and I am not gonna be making the tabs right now, but it actually also makes a really pretty embellishment. So if you tap it one time, you get this very pretty tab, but if you flip it over and tap on the same place, then you get this super pretty little pointy corner, and I just love it. So I am going to be doing that. Basically, you just punch the same corner on both sides. So you do one, flip it to the next side, and same thing for all of them. And I think it looks so pretty. Look at that. So I am actually going to do that for my front cover as well. So now we're going to be gluing our pages, and I am using the art glitter glue. Now I want to say thank you to Shelly because she is so sweet. They took my glue on Customs, and so I told her, and she was so sweet to send me a brand new one with a brand new tip, and now I can finally finish the tutorial. So I wanted to show you how you put the tip. I get a lot of questions. So these you do buy separately. So all you do is just take off the tab, and then you push this down and make sure you kind of spin it around. So you spin it around, and then you'll see that it is so strong in there, it doesn't even want to come out. You see that? And then make sure that when you are done using your glue, always put the tip, otherwise it will be really hard to get the glue out. So thank you, Shelly, so much. You are so sweet and so kind. So now I can go ahead and glue these pages down. I am going to place my top one here. I'm just gonna, and yeah, don't forget to take the cover out. Silly me. Okay, so I am going to close this back up, and now I'm going to glue these down. So what I love about this metal tip is you get just the right amount of glue. Sometimes when you put too much glue, your paper wraps and you waste a lot of glue. So that's all you need. I don't know if you can see the lines of glue. There you go. That's all you need. And then you just place this on your front. I think this is gonna be my back. It doesn't matter, it's just that this side looks a little bit cleaner. I'm just gonna put it down like this and do the same thing on the back. Now, sometimes this is a little bit annoying, so I like to put something to keep it just for not moving, and it keeps it straight and steady. So I'm just going to glue now this side, and as you can see, both sides of this paper are just gorgeous. I mean, you can't really make a mistake. Either side works just fine. So I am gonna place this one on the back cover, and then I'm going to move back into the front cover so I can embellish it. To embellish the cover, I'm going to be using these gorgeous flowers. Now this is the 49 in Market Blossom Blends, and this one is the Garden Seeds. So I think both of these are gonna make a beautiful combination for your cover. Then I also selected like a wooden frame. This little frame I got in Peru. Then I also have this little sentiment that says La vida es bella, which means life is beautiful. Now this one I also got on my trip to Peru, and I do have an extra one, so if you guys will like to get these, how about we do a quick giveaway? Just comment down below that you will like the wooden piece, and I will select a random winner for that, and I will ship that to you. But I apologize that it's not available on the website, but of course you can just do any little frames, or you can even just do another piece of your scraps and just place a picture here as your main statement. Now I am going to be playing around with these flowers to see which way I like it better. So now that I have the flowers the way that I want them, I am going to go ahead and glue everything down. So now I'm just going to use a little bit of pink stickles to my white flowers to give them a little bit more color, and I think the stickles are just gonna make these flowers stand out even more. So I think I am now at a good stopping point for today. I'm just gonna let my flowers dry, and so I think this it's already coming out to be super beautiful. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the tutorial so far, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.